now that we have conquered the C1, we can finally move on from that accursed route and its sharp corners and its rivals that just breeze through those sharp corners while you struggle through them and that fun stuff. I'm not lying when I say I do think that is one of the hardest parts of the game. A little cool trick you can actually, how this main menu kind of just revolves around your car in a 360 while it's driving. You can actually stop it and just look at your car stationary. Obviously, it doesn't really make much of a difference, but literally just discovered this cool little trick. Anyway, just going in chronological order, the next teams that we have to take on are on the Kanjou, and they're on the Kanjou going counterclockwise, I believe. So, going this way, the C1 line, it would say. So we're going to do just that, and we're going to start. We're going to start right here. As is tradition, I'm not going to do any jump cuts just to familiarize the route, show what I'm driving on, all the corners we have to take in. That includes the downtime, all that fun stuff, because we're just going to be encountering new rivals for the next half hour or so that I'm going to be recording, so no need to skip past unnecessarily or anything like that. Would you look at that blue rival right there? Oh, I forgot to turn my turbo down. No matter, I do have to go back to the garage soon anyway. First up on the Kanjou is a member of Diamond Image driving one of those MR2s that gave me so much trouble. Safe Zone. I think Safe Zone drives an MR2 in this game, and of course so does Red Racer. That's gotta be a spelling error right there. Tornado driving in his black MR2. I mean, Tornado is not a word. Tornado, on the other hand, would be a much cooler racer name and name in general, along with it being grammatically correct. So that's probably what they were going for. We're actually entering one of my favorite parts of the stage one race course here. It is just a straight shot on this section of the Kanjou for a long time, and if your machine just straight up outspeeds people, this is the place to show it. My Sylvia was hitting 167 right there, which is unprecedented. You can't really do that anywhere on the C1 because you have to be cornering, you have to be very conscious of handling and all that fun stuff. Maybe it was worth it to bump the turbo up all the way, but that remains to be seen. Unfortunately, that's as far as the Kanjou goes. And the reason that little section of straightaway is they just kind of let you get away with going super fast is because that's part of the Wangan. Wangan, I should probably pronounce it Wangan. It's closer to the actual Japanese pronunciation of the word, I'm sure, based on my 0.1% mastery of the Japanese language. I shouldn't even say mastery. I don't want to act like I know the language when I basically don't. But I do know how to pronounce Japanese characters, so Wangan is probably the way to go. Anyway, the Wangan is infamous or famous, depending on how you put that, in Japan, because it is home to, as you may have guessed, a lot of street racing. There's a wonder, actually. I'm pretty sure they're going to battle cancel me. But since it's basically all straightaway for miles and miles, kilometers, I guess you could say, it's a perfect spot for street racing. And so, in real life, I should say, not only in this game or in manga or media or what have you. And that's actually going to be the second half of the race course that you unlock. I've been talking so much I did not even get to properly introduce this Wander. This is Wild Man. Pretty freaky logo there, driving a very green Toyota. MRS. That's right. That's what it's called. And ooh, that's not a good look for me. I want to beat this guy. I swore though that he just did not want to challenge you ever. Man, that MRS is fast for being such a light car. But as is evident by that little stretch of the long gone down on the south side of the map, and that stretch that we just raced through back there, the Kanjou is overall a much faster section of the map than the C1 is. Yeah, I lost. Well, no matter. And it's a nice transition into Stage 2, which, as I mentioned already, is going to include the Longon Expressway. I'm actually going to race Wildman there again. I do seem to have, I mean, he accelerates really fast, but other parts of his, like his top speed, isn't as good as mine. And we're entering a favorable part of the map here, so I'm going to try and take him down. I want that handsome payout. I swore, though, his requirements were stricter than what's going on here. I'm not really sure, I guess I just have to look it up later. Ooh, no. No. Stop. Okay, perfect. No more swerving. Just in case anyone was curious, that little part of freeway, that little junction where you can choose between going between the C1 and the Yaisu. I actually don't know how to pronounce that. That little section of highway has no regular rivals on it. It's just kind of, I mean, you can use it for a number of reasons. I guess you could use it to kind of throw off a rival. You try, if you think you're good at that part of the track, you can try and race them on it and beat them. But there are actually wanderers that just kind of chill there. They're only accessible if you go onto that little section of the Yaisu. I'm butchering, I'm sure, but yeah, I mean, wanderers aren't necessary to beat this game 100%. They're just kind of cash cows that you can beat if you want some extra money. And speaking of which, I did get a nice 3,000 credit payout from Wildman back there, which is good. I'm not sure what I'm saving up for at this point. I guess some more parts for the Sylvia, maybe a new car. It's hard to say at this point. But now we can finally go this way, instead of taking that disastrous corner there onto the C1 outer. You see this is a much higher speed and much more high-speed section of the map. Just kind of blaze your way down over here. Except wanting to race this guy, also from Diamond Image. This is Arrow Angel, driving a, what would you call that? That's a specific shade of yellow that I can't really put my finger on. Anyway, it's a Honda Integra with it seems to be very low to the ground, at least, considering that rear fender back there. I mean, I don't think Honda Integras are really known for. That was not pleasant. That was an unpleasant turn. Anyway, I mean, Honda Integras are I think they're a B-class type of car in this game. They're not really known for their speed. They're more known for their lightweight, good handling, I think. Diamond Image is also one of the easier teams in this section of the map. I mean, I think this game is coded to give you the easy ones first, or at least they're more likely to appear. That's what it seems like. I mean, we've been taking down the easy teams first, for the most part. And that was an easy win, and as you can see by that little tunnel, I'm not really sure if it's a tunnel or if it's just like a section of, I don't know, overhead metal bars. I'm not really sure what that is. But we're back. We made our first full lap around the map. So now we are eligible for jump cuts. Not going to do it though. That guy's right there. We're just going to catch up to him real quick. Hopefully it's another Diamond Image, or I can show off one of the other teams. I'm not really sure what, speaking of Diamond Image, I'm not really sure what their theme is. They do seem to prefer light cars though. Who is this? Yeah, that looks like, yeah, I figured that looked like a Honda Integra. I want to say that's navy blue, but it's more closer to purple than it is to blue. Maybe it's cerulean? I'm not sure. Anyway, Radar Racer drives a very similar Honda Integra to, what's his face? Arrow Angel, the one we just beat, that's right. I'm still rocking the Rolling Guy sticker from way back on the C1 Inner. But like I said, I have no plans on changing it. as we progress throughout the game. And you can see that me putting the turbo all the way up has definitely had an effect on my car's performance. I'm only pushing about 160 now. I was pushing almost 170 earlier. That corner continues to be brutal. It really is killer after, after you're flying along super fast, and it just really brings you back down to earth once you have to corner that. I just was not paying enough attention. It's another one of those corners that I just cannot master. No rivals in sight, and my car is definitely showing a little bit of wear. But I'm just gonna keep looking. These rivals are easier at the moment, so I'm not super worried. Not counting that loss to Wildman, of course. That was a combination of him just being kind of fast and bad racing on my part. Okay, we've caught up. Who is this? Oh, okay. New team. New team, we'll say. We briefly drove by him when we were doing some teams on the C1 Outer, but this is the first time we actually get to face one. This is Team Rhythm Box. Pink Groove here, who drives a very pink Subaru wagon. I want to say it's a Legacy wagon this time, but Pink Groove here. I mean, Rhythm Box isn't one of the stronger teams, kind of just like Diamond Image, where they're one of the easier teams on the C1 Outer, but Rhythm Box actually has a pretty definitive theme. Their theme is that they, as their name might imply, they're really into music, and they kind of modify their cars with big speakers and lots of bass, and they're audiophiles, I should say. And I mean, it's implied that it's sort of to their detriment. I mean, big speakers kind of weighs down the car, I suppose. But hey, I mean, as long as they're having fun, I can't judge. Okay, took a while, but we're here. And what do you know? It's Rhythm Freak, who we encountered earlier. And I think this is actually the one that challenges you if you go out in front of him. And I did not pick up on that, so I'm challenging Rhythm Freak instead. The 180SX is a respectable car, as I may have said before, but I'm not super worried. Rhythm Freak seems like he should belong in Rhythm Box, just going by his name. Maybe they didn't accept him because he didn't drive a wagon. That's the other requirement. Now, maybe I should have a little bit more reason to be concerned. My car kind of feels slower now. I guess the real test is here. You can sort of see how slow it's really becoming. It is kind of struggling to push 150. No, we're coming up on 160 here. Can we? We're not going to hit 160 before the race ends, but yeah, I think we're still good to go. And maybe it's a placebo effect. I don't know if it's proven for sure, but my handling definitely feels a lot stiffer than it did when you're fresh out of the garage. Maybe that's just another reason you should go back and refresh often, but once again, no reason to when we're out here winning. So, okay, we're back out here. I drove for a bit. The next rival we came up on was green, so I think we beat all the rivals that had spawned already. I wasn't gonna go driving around more just to find more green arrows, so figured it might be easier to just get a new batch and freshen up a bit. Oh, I guess I was wrong about Rhythm Box. I thought they were all drove wagons, but it seems like I'm confusing them for a later team that shows up also on the Kanjou. You'll see what I mean when they actually show up. This is the dealer driving a navy blue Nissan Silvia S13. He's toast. It's an S13, I just don't see him catching up now that we're on the straightaways. Although I will say that the straightaways do kind of end up coming back to bite you a bit. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, the straightaways, especially when you face enemies that clearly outclass you, you kind of don't want to be on the straightaway. You don't want to be on the straightaways for that long. Not right now, though. Right now, the straightaways are your friend. Alright, who is this? Oh, here's another Kanjou counterclockwise team. This is Windstars. and more specifically, this is Queenie driving a, I want to say that's a Salmon 180SX. Could be wrong though. I do appreciate how common 180SXs are in this section of the game. Throwback to my old playthrough that will never see the light of day because I no longer have the save files for that. Anyway, if I recall correctly, the Windstars are a more complex team, emotionally complex team, I should say. They didn't join, or they didn't form for the heck of it, or because they have all the same car or something. I think they all have like some sort of like a racing tragedy that impacted a friend of theirs, and they race to honor that, I suppose. A noble cause, if not maybe a little bit. I forgot what I was going to say. We'll just say it's a noble cause, because it is. And they're not an easy team either, although Queenie there did put up a bit of a fight, but overall they're not the easiest team. Not the hardest on the Shin Kanjou counterclockwise, I would say, but not the easiest team. Alright, who are you? Can't tell from all the way back here. Okay, another diamond image. Charge Band, driving a Sprinter True. Very blue as well. It seems like the running themes for this, well, there were a few blue ones, there was like a yellowish orange one, I want to say, and then there was a black one. Who can forget Tornado? But Charge Man in his Sprinter True, I know. I'm not really worried. You can't really drive, even in stage 1, this early on in the game, you can't really drive a Sprinter True, and expect to win. Now I hope that's just not me being cocky, and I really hope I don't eat my wards here. But he is slowly but surely falling behind, thankfully. So I've gotten a new name. I've rid myself of the weird eccentric title. Now I'm the illusionary eccentric from Rolling Guy. In a way, I'm showing everyone who made fun of Rolling Guy, that this is the vengeance. Oh my gosh, it's leader time already. I was not expecting that. Speaking of Sprinter Trainers, this is a two-tone one with red wheels. Look at that. Definitely put a lot of time into decking it out. Savage Steve. I think he's the only one on Diamond Image with that sort of alliteration in his name. Now I'm sure his car handles well, corners very well, but it's just underpowered. Well, okay, well, I mean, anyone would have a chance if I crashed into a car right there. Now he's actually ahead of me by a decent amount, and the distance is only getting wider. Why the heck is he so fast? I feel bad for making fun of him now. Maybe he knows that in a way, and is out for revenge, or he's out to humiliate me now, I should say. I'm catching up though. Yeah, I haven't beat on the straightaway, I guess not surprisingly. Fortunately, it's going to end pretty soon and we're going to have to exit. Ooh, this is definitely not one of my favorite parts. But maybe I've put enough distance between myself and him to kind of make up for this horrendous turn that I'm about to take. Yeah, I slowed all the way down to 60 there, but it's not enough, it's not enough time for him to catch up to me. That was a more difficult race, and I definitely underestimated you, Savage Steve. Good for you. There's our first leader of Diamond Image, or our first leader of the Shin Kanjou, though, and coincidentally, or not coincidentally, the easiest. And even then, that was a bit of a fighter. That's probably like the most maxed out Sprinter Trio, and that this game will allow, like the best engine, the best body upgrades, transmission, and everything. And that also put us closer to the next rival, which is all the way Alice here. I keep saying like the red pinkish colors are salmon, and I really want to say this one's salmon too, but is it salmon or is it just pink? Or is it just that I don't know my colors? I think the third one. I mean, I act like I want to discern the nuance between different colors, But there's always a possibility that I'm just flat out wrong, and I'm just making a fool of myself on, well, not on live TV, but on YouTube, since this is going to go up on YouTube later. Ugh, that was a sharper turn than I was hoping for. But all the way Alice here, even in her RX-7 FD, wasn't able to catch up, and she gives us 666 credits. I guess 2 WinStars members down. Yeah, WinStars doesn't have like a theme as far as cars go, or vehicles of choice. I suppose Rhythm Box doesn't either. Maybe Diamond Image seems to want to prove that they can win with low-tier cars. I think the closest one to that is Savage Steve over there, who will beat me. Sprinter train though. I imagine he's closely affiliated with the Roman guy. Who's this? Ooh, okay. I thought this was another team that we would have to, problematic team we have to face down, but in line with my initial theory about wagons and music, Mozart Man here is going to lead us to a draw. Yeah, that was great. Okay, great. Maybe I should take that as a sign to go back to the garage. Yeah, since he just straight disappeared. Yeah, if you take one of those exits that are like X's, they'll just lead you straight back to the garage for the most part, which is fine. That's exactly what I wanted to do. While I was in the garage, I took a peek at the rivals list just to check in on our progress, and we still have a ways to go, even just with this direction in the Shin Kanjou. I mean, we've only beaten one team, of course, but there are other teams who haven't even... Oh, speaking of teams that haven't even showed up yet, here's one. Team Harmonize. This is a team I distinctly remember having trouble with, especially their leader. Aerostar here. I guess him and Aero Angel might be pretty tight, but Aerostar drives a Sylvia S13. And he's probably not going to see him again, because his SP bar is depleting very fast. Sucks for him. And also, I'm a little disappointed because I wanted to take down the easier teams first. Maybe I still will, depends. That's an easy win though. Alright, here we are. That's a kind of an aggressive break. But we're up on another WinStars member, Comeback Kid. That's a Baby Blue. I'm gonna say that's a Legacy. I'm not really sure. Or no, I think it's an Evo. Well, I think only Evos get those taillights. Or no, I can't speak. I'm really sorry. Those headlight modifications, which are a little bit gaudy, but I do like the look of them. And this is actually, if that is an Evo, that's our first Evo that we've encountered. It will certainly not be the last, though. Comeback Kid, though, is not making a comeback. Man, is my only material to make fun of, to make a silly joke about the person's racing name, and that's all I have. Doesn't bode well for me, honestly. I gotta think of some new jokes. Comeback Kid didn't become much of a fight, though. So we are on to the next one. Okay, Dark Star here from WinStars. Also, I think that's a slightly different shade of Baby Blue than Comeback Kid, but I think that's also an Ewok. Maybe there's a theme there, or they're related. I know some of these teams like to have like family members on the same team or whatever. Dark Star also has, or that could be a factor since Dark Star also has an Evo. And it's the same color, or that could just be a coincidence. That was a nice drift, not optimal. I think there's a lot of speed there. So did Dark Star, maybe more than he should have on that corner. And that's 4 Windstars members down though. Oh, barely got by that corner. That was actually pretty nice by me. Nice job. And the win, and exactly 26,000 credits. Not bad. So far, we haven't really found anyone on Windstars that'll put up much of a fight. That's gonna change pretty soon. Anyway, it's time to get my revenge on, what's that person's name? The one in the blue wagon for Rhythm Box. We're about to find out. Is that you? Yes, it is. Alright, it's time. You can only put it off for so long. Mozart, man. Those Impreza wagons are not to be underestimated, though. They are scary when they get an upgrade or two. Mozart man seems to be very eager to block. And I didn't take that turn so well, so still right on my tail. Here's where we prove ourselves. Here's where the engine upgrade pays off. Here's also where I should maybe start looking into getting that transmission upgrade. Okay, he's keeping pace with me for a while, but falling behind just enough for me to increase my chances at winning here. Still pushing 160. It's pretty nice, even though we've been on the road for a while. I just hope this is enough to carry me through the rest of Stage 1, since this is about as powerful as I'm gonna get. Anyway, there's the win. If there are no new rivals up front, I guess we're about to find out. Otherwise, I'll just go back to the garage. You know, something I noticed is that your car's, the sound of your car when you're pushing 150 isn't really a factor. It's really interesting. I'm sure a lot of the enjoyment of driving the really fast cars is to hear that satisfying purr of the engine. Maybe my setting down isn't high enough, but it's definitely apparent in later TXR games. And I think it happens when you race, you can hear the car's accelerating. I'm not really sure, I might have to take a look at my settings. But this is Night from Rhythm Box again. This is Nightman driving a Honda Integra, grayish, with maybe a touch of blue. After this, I'm probably going to go back to the garage. Provided the leader doesn't come out, of course. Maybe even if the leader would come out. Not sure. Alright, I do kind of want to beat one more leader before this episode ends, and see if there's a boss that comes out as well, because I've beaten about 4 teams, 5 maybe, since I beat Speed Angel, so I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm not looking forward to facing a boss, of course, but we are kind of due for that, unfortunately. That's it for Nightman over there, so I guess let's see if it's leader time. Nope. And, I don't know. That's tough. No, I'm gonna go back to the garage. All blue arrows, that is a welcome sight. Now, I think we only have a couple more members each of both Windstars and Rhythm Box. But Harmonize is also only taking out one of them. So I wonder how long it'll be before we even encounter the next leader. Oh. Here's the last Kanjou counterclockwise team that is finally making their appearance, and also the team that I was talking about when I was talking about Rhythm Box. I thought their theme was wagons, but that is not the case. That's actually this team, Super Speedwagon, and as their name implies, oh wow, what just happened there? I mean, Light Rider here is no slouch. As Super Speedwagon's name implies, they are a team of wagons. Highly upgraded wagons, not to be underestimated. all that fun stuff. And Light Rider here is the first one, and I had to wait a while before I could even overtake him on this straight. This isn't going to be easy. I should look into getting those upgrades. We finally pulled ahead, but for how long? That dreaded curve is coming up, and I'm going to face it going 170 miles an hour. Maybe now's a good time to brake. Yeah. I wonder if it's... Man, I braked early, but it didn't even help me in the end. We pulled out the win, though. We were aided a bit by that crash, as shown by his shaking SP bar. Okay, so all the Kanjou teams are out. It's really a toss-up as to who we'll encounter next. But my Silvio was braking 170 back there. That is not too shabby for a B-class car. I have some high hopes for this Silvio now. Who are you? Is that a wagon? Does not look like a wagon. It looks like a... Oh, it looks like a Silvio S14. This is Spellbinder Steve. German grayish. As I said, Silvio S14. That looks still pretty different from mine. Got some other modifications on it. Spellbinder Steve might be friends with Savage Steve. I mean, well, he definitely drives the part. A lot of Steves out on the road, don't you think? Especially for a place like Japan. I guess Steve is one of the easier names to make alliterations out of. And that's why they localized it to a lot of these names to Steve. I'm sure there's other examples I can find. It's just Savage Steve and Spellbinder Steve are the two easiest ones since I encountered them most recently. But Spellbinder Steve isn't the easiest driver, just like Savage Steve. Poor Spellbinder Steve, he'll never escape the influence of his clearly better counterpart in the Sprinter Trueno. That was not cool. Doesn't matter though, I got hooked on the car. And that's our second harmonized member down. Well, we have two blue arrows in sight, which is not a bad route. And they look like they're both from the Kanjou. Oh, I forgot about this guy. In a game full of ridiculous names. TXR2 is actually one of the tamer games as far as localization goes and accurate translation of names or lack thereof. But even among those, this one's out there. Autoerotic. You gotta love that. At once, it leaves a lot to the imagination and nothing to the imagination at one time. It really is something for a game to achieve that sort of delicate balance, and I might actually lose to autoerotic. How embarrassing. I mean, as much as I would like to make fun of him, he's driving a Super Impreza. One of the best cars in the game. And I messed up on just some pretty crucial turns, so that's on me. I might come back and race him later. And the car isn't exactly in the best shape either. What if I can beat him on the straights? Let's try it. Try this again. Yeah, he takes off faster than me, and his top speed is comparable to mine, if not better. Not sure if it would be better to just eat the speed reduction on the corner there. There's a rival. I'm not sure who that is. It's a red MR2. Maybe it's Rhythm Box. But I don't even see him anymore. I kind of see his headlights. Sort of. And maybe I'm catching up? Gosh, who knows? Oh yeah, I'm definitely catching up. I don't know if it'll be too little too late though. I mean, I'm gonna pass him right now, but he hasn't even started to eat away, or his SP bar hasn't even started to deplete a little bit. And even at top speed, it's not looking too great. Ooh, braked too late. Yeah, that's rough. Oh man, that's even rougher. Just ate that corner right there and blew by me. Okay, well that's annoying. I guess we'll go back to the garage now. That's just those losses are a bit losing at the hands of autoerotic is just a little bit demoralizing. Got a new name though, Intense Eccentric. They give you, right? I'm not really sure what the formula is for their names, so although I have said in the past that it definitely has something to do with your win-loss ratio and probably like the amount of days it takes you to get a certain amount of wins, so on and so forth. But that might be the last WinStars guy before the leader comes out. And we still have another Rhythm Box member to take care of, so I don't really want to end this episode before that, but we'll see. And by we'll see, I mean we'll see how many losses I can handle before I eventually decide to end this episode, since we are running pretty long. Well, it's not really what I wanted. Another Super Speedwagon person to take down. That looks like a Honda Accord wagon, actually. I thought they all drove Subarus, but I guess I was wrong. I actually thought, oh, you are a... you just hate that. I'm just gonna, no. I'm not gonna put up with that. What a jerk. Okay. Nothing you can do at that point, at those points, except sigh and shake your head. I mean, really, there was nothing I could do. I started the race, we were starting the race next to the divider, saw the opportunity, and bumped right into it, and there was just nothing I could do. Except maybe a hard brake at the beginning, but that would have required me to expect him to do that. Let's try this again. It's a Honda Accord wagon. Like, how difficult can this be? Now that's more like it. In later games, this becomes an even better spot for taking down rivals, because the game gets updated to match the actual long-on freeway at the time. They did some modifications to it that I definitely prefer to this iteration of the game. So after that very dirty win by him that resulted in immediate forfeiture by me, we have an easy win on our hands. Now we're back on track. We're actually running pretty long here. This is minute 54 of the raw recording. Oh, this is the MR2 that I ran into earlier. I guess he's from Harmonize. This is Dreamer. So what level MR2 are you? Are you Red Racer level MR2, or are you that guy from Diamond Image level MR2? Right now it's looking like the latter. Well, it's like I'm still like scarred by that experience with Red Racer's MR2, and I guess to a similar extent, Save Zones MR2. I actually haven't beaten Safe Zone yet. I know, embarrassing. My car might be good enough to take him on now, but I don't really have a reason to return to the C1 inner as of right now, so oops, I pressed the wrong button, and now we are in a different view, and I just totally blew that corner right there. No matter, we won. dreamer here couldn't catch up. I mean, I will have an opportunity later when I go the other way on the Kanjou, the clockwise way. But for now, I do think it took me a while to beat saves in my first playthrough. I've said that before, but I actually bought my second car, my first A-class car as well, and then I raced against saves, and I lost a couple times. So that just gives you an idea of how good he is. They definitely tuned it down in future games, though. It's just this game where he's ridiculously fast. Alright, I guess we're taking out Quartermaster today. Quartermaster. Was that Quartermaster? Yeah, Quartermaster. Driving another MR2, but this time it's purple. Funny enough, we're probably going to encounter him later. No, actually, I think you have to drive a specific type of car. But there's another rival named Quartermaster in this game. He's a wanderer. He only drives you if you, like I said, he only challenges you. He might not even appear unless you drive a specific type of car. When I was driving, the 180SX is one of those cars, and that's why he came out. But he's actually he's actually a pretty difficult wanderer. I could not beat him. Pretty sad, considering the type of car he drives isn't really that great. It's better than that MR2, or maybe it's around the same level of the MR2 that this Quartermaster drives. But regardless, that Quartermaster went down. Someone chose a fight. So that's 3 harmonized members down, I believe. Or is it 2? Or 4? Well, I can't count. I'm not a math major. Or a public speaking major, if that was really readily apparent. You look like you were from Super Speedwagon. Got a little box on top of your car there. I'm not really sure what that is. I think this is an Accord. These look like Accords. Like, I don't want to say for sure, but this looks like a family wagon, honestly, with the box on top of it. They look like they're gonna have a nice camping trip after this. They're gonna go kayaking, maybe. Not really sure. But either way, this is the Wiz. And the Wiz seems to actually be putting up a decent fight. Kind of on my tail, actually, now that I think about it. I do have to take this corner pretty carefully. Not carefully enough. Oh, but we got the bump negated, perfect. He wasn't observant enough to slip past me there. He had the perfect opportunity to do so, but that's going to cost him the race. Because I do think I outspeed him on the straightaways, just by enough. Although my car is definitely showing some signs of fatigue. I'm only pushing 160 there. But it was enough to get us the win. If only all of Super Speedwagon drove Honda Accord wagons. We're on hour 1, minute 60, however you want to call it, recording. I'm not gonna lie, the reason I want to avoid long render times, or I just got a bit ahead of myself there, the reason I want to avoid long episodes is to avoid long render times. I mean, when I uploaded episode 4 just a few days back, that render time was ungodly. It was like, I want to say it was like 4 to 5 hours. I'm not really sure. I actually had to render it twice since I used the wrong format the first time. But yeah, it was not fun. I don't want to do that again. Okay, I don't want to hit the wall again. Haven't gotten the chance to talk about this team here. Another Star. Team Another Star. I believe this is the Impreza team. And by saying that, it's obvious that they drive only Imprezas. And that does not bode well for me. There are some people on this team that are really difficult, that kind of just smoke you on the straightaways, and smoke you on the turns, and just smoke you in general. I remember having a lot of trouble with this team back in the day. Not back in the day, like when I played this, when I did this for the first time. And as is tradition, I suppose, with an all Subaru team, they compete with an all Evo team that races on. I think they race the other way. They race clockwise, called Top Level, and that team drives only Evos. They are both difficult. Like me and my B-class Sylvia can only do really so much against them. I mean, Banshee there just gave me just a run for my money. I want to make at least one leader come out in this episode, even if I don't beat them. I just want to. We've kind of had a drought here, picking off members of a variety of teams. We've actually encountered one member of every team in this episode, which is pretty nice. Just new leaders. We're coming up on this one here. Hopefully the stuff I've cut out will kind of trim down this video length a bit. Okay. Here's another harmonized guy, Car Freak, who drives another 180SX. This one is also baby blue, I believe. Although I think this is a different, it's a different baby blue than the ones from Winning Stars drove, for sure. Also, Car Freak is a rather annoying driver, so let's ram him into this car here. I also got rammed, so the net gain there was 0. He clipped me. So it didn't exactly backfire, but I didn't gain anything out of it either. Also, that is a beefy 180SX. Definitely holding the zone. And even more so since I failed to corner that well. Thankfully, okay, no, I just squandered that opportunity. Ugh, no. No. No! Ugh. Gotta hate that. Now this is one of the few corners where the AI slows down, but I have to slow down right after, so it doesn't, not like it really matters. Dang it, he passed me. This epic slow motion pass too. Don't really like it when it's working against you. Or, it's highlighting a shortcoming of your driver like it did there. It's a closer race than I would have liked. And honestly, this curve up here is a killer, so yeah, it's not happening. Nope, okay. I'm just gonna cut my losses now because the barriers are coming up, and hopefully I can squeeze out a win here. She's my way to victory, as you might say. And I don't have any qualms about that because a win is a win. It looks like an S13 from the front, or an S14. But it's a 180SX from the back. Yeah, that's right. Slow down for no apparent reason. And good luck catching back up. Of course, that is provided that I can finish out the rest of this race without any glaring flaws. Okay, he's done. He hit the barrier, or the divider. That's it. That is what you get. He might be the last one, though. I actually think that's like I think in this game there's like a combo S14, S13 180SX car that you can buy, but I don't want to say for sure. But here comes the leader. If I sound just a little bit dejected, it's because I am. Diamond Dale here, who drives a Toyota Celica, is not to be trifled with, or not to be underestimated. This car is one of the more troublesome leaders in the Kanjou, if I recall correctly. Not as much as say Another Star or Super Speedwagon, but troublesome nonetheless. He would have just smoked me right there if he didn't run to that car. But we'll take every advantage that we can get. Oh, I did not take that. I did not take that minor turn very well. I'm not really capitalizing on these mistakes that he's making. Hit that truck, but I wasn't able to create like a big gap there between me and him. And I hit the wall there too. That's not good. Ooh, he's catching up. Ooh, he's catching up quickly. Okay, I managed to hold him off just enough. He is blinking, flashing red. All comes down to this curve right here. That was close. I thought I was gonna definitely crashed into that truck there. That's a different Sleeka than Raging Demon, of course. Not really sure what kind it is, but it packs quite a mean punch. And with that, I wasn't the leader that I wanted to defeat there, but with that, provided there's no boss that comes out, which there is not, we're going to end the episode there. We've been running for a while, and we beat 2 leaders, actually. We beat Diamond Image, and after a long drought, we beat Harmonize. So that's two Shin Kanjou teams down. About 3 more to go on this section of the track, and then we have to turn around and go the other way. So we have a work cut out for us. But we got a lot done, so I'm pretty satisfied with that episode, and I will see you guys next time.